Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining Conscious Conversations. My name is Lauren Douglas. I'm the SVP of Marketing at Channel Factory.
And I'm Ginger Taylor-White. Thanks for having me. I'm the EVP Managing Director of Agyle at Dentsu.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. My first question to you is, tell me a little bit about you, what you do, and what your role is.
So I've been at Dentsu for 18 years.
Okay.
I'm currently the EVP Managing Director of Agyle. Agyle lives within Dentsu's media line.
Okay.
We make principal investments. We have vendor partners such as Channel Factory.
Okay.
And together we work with our vendor partners to provide value to our clients that they wouldn't normally be getting.
Okay. You know, you're the third person that I've had from Agyle, and everyone has said the word value. What do you guys mean when you say value?
So we want to, it's really funny that you say that because we actually changed our vernacular about a year or two ago and stopped saying the word savings.
Okay.
Because savings has such a financial, monetary like feel to it.
Yep.
And value, I think, encompasses more.
Okay.
So maybe it's not just savings.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like a lower CPM, but maybe it's a study or some kind of valuable data that would provide value for a client.
Okay, got it. And is the sort of the thesis that it's because you're buying in mass, you're buying in bulk, you're able to get lower pricing than you would if that client was just buying specifically for themselves?
So it's a good question. One way to unlock value is through our investments.
Okay.
So yes, we go out, but sometimes our deals aren't necessarily investment based.
Yeah.
But in a traditional model, we would make some kind of investment, whether it's a new product or whatever, with a partner. And from that, there would be value derived on the back end.
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
How did you get into this world? Because it's a very niche and specific world. Like, how did you land here?
Oh my gosh. It's really such a relevant question because I have one of my kids is 21.
Okay.
And she's recently graduated college.
Okay.
And,
congrats.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a big deal for you.
It is a big deal for me. Almost off the payroll.
Yes.
All of her friends are coming to me because Ginger's in advertising, Ginger's in marketing.
Right.
And it sounds like really, really sexy. I'm like, all right, you need to like narrow down what you want to do.
Right.
So it's really funny that you asked that because I feel for the past couple of weeks I've been talking to a focus group of 21-year-olds about the business in general.
Yeah.
Where I started in planning.
Okay.
I started WideNet at a different agency. WideNet, I wanted to learn. I actually went to school for what I'm doing, which is bizarre.
That is bizarre. I didn't even know there was a school for...
I went to Ithaca College and I studied television, radio, communications with a concentration in advertising.
Okay.
So I actually took like media planning classes. And I wrote, we wrote fun...
like briefs.
Campaigns.
Yeah, and campaigns.
Like my campaign one, it was Pip Squeeze, squeezable toothpaste for kids.
Cool.
Shameless plug, doesn't exist.
You should totally make it someday.
I should have patented it.
You should.
Lost opportunity.
Damn.
So I've been talking to these, young ladies, young men about the business and kind of guiding them. I started broad so that I can learn a lot about the business. So I started in planning and I stayed there for a number of years so that I learned all the target audiences and why clients need to reach certain people. And, the biggest lesson was that the best creative, because everyone's like, oh, you're in creative. I'm like, I don't even touch it.
Right.
The best creative means nothing if it's not seen by the right people.
Right.
So it's the best way that I can explain kinds of what we do.
Yeah.
So I started broad and then very not planned. I was involved in a new business pitch as most planning people are, at least a couple of times in their career. So I was involved in a new business pitch, and it was a very large packaged good company, and they not only liked our agency, they liked me. It was probably like one of my most like career-defining moments. It was very flattering. They really liked me, my energy, and what I could bring. So when they hired my old company, they asked for me to work on their business in a print role.
Wow.
So I ran, and it was a lot of print business.
Okay.
This was back when magazines were extremely popular and a very viable, it's still a viable medium, but just maybe in a different way.
Yeah.
So I ran their print business for years and years, and then I moved over to Dentsu
Okay.
in a similar capacity, but on a wider group of clients.
Yeah.
And then about 6 years ago, we launched Agile Advantage within Dentsu. The gentleman that was hired to do it needed to build up a team. And another flattering moment, because I was within Dentsu for so long, I had good relationships. He was working with me in a print role, the role that I was in, and I knew all the client teams, and I knew this, and I knew that. And he said, would you ever think of working with us here? Because your internal relationships would be very helpful in launching this product.
Cool.
And about a year later, I said yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a little courtship, but.
Nice. And how long have you been doing that?
So I think I think it's 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Holy
it's either
shit.
5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time,
Cool.
and it's evolved so much.
Of course. It evolves like every month, I feel.
It not every day is the same.
Yeah.
There's definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'd love to understand from you, like, do you, when you talk to your 21-year-old daughter's friends, like, how do you sort of talk to young women that want to come up into advertising, media, programmatic? Like, how do you sort of explain to them what it is and then like guide them, like, along that path, or even coach people within the organization, as well?
I like to do it
Yeah.
because I really do believe in paying it forward.
Yeah.
And someone many, many years ago took that with me and gave me an opportunity. So I really do like to guide people, and I have a pretty good track record.
Okay.
Like we've hired some good ones. There's definitely been some not so good ones.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is focus on what do you like?
Right.
What do you want to do? What are some of your strengths?
Yeah.
It's really funny because most of them, just the way of the land, they either want fashion or social media. Like, I want to work for Snapchat. Tell me why.
Right.
What do you think is there
Yeah.
that is like the golden ticket?
Yeah.
Why? What strengths do you have?
Right.
Why do you want there? Why do they want you?
Right.
So I kind of want to drill down and say, all right, what do you like? What parts of the business are most interesting? If they've had an internship, I like to hear about what they did so that I can kind of funnel them to the right place.
Yeah.
And then I tell them all the entry points within an agency.
Right.
Not only do I tell them the entry points, but the career path.
Right.
So if you start here, if you start in planning, you could stay in planning. You could go into activation.
Yeah.
You could go to the client side, harder.
Yeah.
But it's happened.
Yeah.
You can go to sales, media sales. They love account people.
Totally.
So I try to talk to them a little about career path.
Yeah.
Then I tell them about sales
Yes.
and working for a vendor and
Yes.
what that looks like.
Yes.
And the pressures that come with that. And the career path that comes with that.
Totally.
And it's an interesting career path, as you all can attest.
Yeah.
Like, once you sell, you can sell.
Yes. It's a skill set that lasts forever.
And
for millennia, right?
For millennia, and it transcends to other businesses.
Absolutely.
So you're not like, I don't want to say you're not pigeonholed, but you're not pigeonholed.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we are at CES, and it is January of this new year. So
Crazy.
I do want to ask you a little bit about what you are hopeful and, I guess, looking forward to in 2023.
Yeah. So it's really funny. I have not been to CES, and I know there were like wonky years because of the pandemic, but it's been maybe you guys can tell me, but it's been since the hot button was wearables.
Yes.
When I was here, maybe 2018.
Okay.
So maybe like 5 years ago, it was wearables. And I was really curious to say, okay, what's coming next? Yeah. And what really is what I'm curious about is the connected home and device to device communications. So I'm really excited to see like what comes of that.
Yeah.
And how that all changes, and how, as a consumer, that would affect my life.
Yeah.
But also as a business person and a marketer.
What's the opportunity?
Where are the opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely.
And where's the data?
Yes.
Are people really using this? What are they doing? Is it a casual kind of thing? Or is it like 20 times on their day.
Yeah,
During the
totally.
day, they're connecting their this to their this.
Sure.
So
Cool.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I have a theory that my parents' house is going to overthrow them at some point because everything is voice activated and no one knows how to work anything except my stepfather.
So they're going to sit in the pitch black.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, this house is one day going to revolt. Like, it's going to gain intelligence and then become more intelligent than us.
That'd be very funny.
Yeah.
Not funny.
Not funny,
Not
no.
funny for them, but it would make for a good story.
Yeah, totally. What about predictions for this year? Good, bad, or ugly? Anything that you think kind of...
I think that it was a really great word that I heard at lunch, trepidation.
Okay.
I'm feeling like not me personally,
Yeah.
and not necessarily my team,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling like there's a lot of trepidation out there.
Cool.
So I think it's going to be very much a continuation of 2022, where data is like so important, because if there are limited dollars to be spent, like every dollar has to count.
I know.
Which is why like my team is pretty hopeful, even with the trepidation, because value is going to be even more important this year than any.
Yes.
So
yes, we were just actually talking to a creative guy too who said, I actually think the limit on budget from a creativity perspective will be important too, because people will have to be more creative. So if the budget's getting cut by 30, 50, whatever %, you have to be more creative on how you're spending your money and come up with creative ideas. And so it might be kind of a renaissance of creativity as well.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I'm excited about it, because that's a little like, sounds a little like aloof.
Sure.
But
opportunity could exist. Yeah.
Like with trepidation comes opportunity.
Yes, totally.
So
totally. Sisters.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Cool. Ginger, tell me about a campaign that you saw this year that sort of stuck with you.
Okay, so it's funny.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes out of left field, but my home is like big sports fans.
Okay.
Like Big Ten football.
Okay.
SEC, like you name it, like we watch everything and anything.
Cool.
So it's pretty sad. Maybe you can help me, but I don't remember the actual advertiser. But I remember that during a football game, it was for a challenge. It's an insurance provider, but they like threw the red flag and they go to the challenge.
Yes.
And it's an insurance company, but I loved the integration with the football creative during a football game. I think
it was Allstate, wasn't it?
It's definitely insurance of some sort.
Yeah.
So if anybody's watching that works on that account,
please
I
forgive
apologize
us.
that I don't remember, but it did stick with me.
No, that's super cool. I think the idea of like integrating in smart ways is going to become even more important as we go forward.
It's so attention grabbing. Just like I'm exhausted, so I don't remember which one it was.
Yes.
But I just loved it.
Yeah, exactly. And like that is unique. It's interesting. It's niche. It's hitting this audience, and it's
brilliant.
not a shill, right?
Yeah,
I think people are like a little bit sort of turned off by a shill.
It's boring.
It's boring.
Yeah. I want something that's like, that's really funny.
Yes.
Like, great.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what I've seen this year, but there were definitely a few things where I was like, that's a great ad.
Yeah, totally.
It just sticks with you. So, cool. What is the last link to like an article or a meme or something that you've sent someone?
Oh my God. I send so many, like, at night I just scroll through
Me
videos
too.
and I just send them to people because they're really, really funny.
I mostly send Real Housewives of any really Real Housewives series memes to my friends. That's like my main mode of comms.
This is like really embarrassing, but the Family Guy. My son really likes it. It is so dark.
It is
but
so good.
funny.
It is.
Like, it's not who I am as a person, so no one judge, please.
No, I think it's
but
brilliant.
They're just, I don't know who writes. Like, the writers are just brilliant.
Yeah, they are brilliant.
So I send those a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Family Guy memes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sorry.
No, I think it's
So
great.
weird.
I think it's awesome. Well, we live in a new environment. Yeah. Obviously, people work and home have sort of merged and shifted in interesting ways. First of all, how do you think about that from like a work environment perspective?
Yeah.
And then how do you like hire and recruit and develop talent in a world where you may be meeting somebody only in a video environment?
It is such a thorn in my side right now.
Yeah.
Because
I love thorns and sides.
I know, right? So my company, I obviously love working there. I've been there for 18 years, but so we're I guess you would call us remote. We do, if you're near a home base, we do encourage you to come in. We're touting like purposeful meetings and purposeful days, like make them count.
Yeah.
Like when my team goes to the office, we have a full day of meetings.
Yeah.
The cool part about remote is that you can cast a wider net for talent.
Okay.
And have people working from wherever.
Yeah.
And you're not stuck in, like, in my case, the tri-state area. So you can cast a wider net for talent.
Absolutely.
The challenge is getting to know someone in a little box.
Right.
And the joke is, like, when I stand up, people are like, oh my God, you're shorter than I thought.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea anything about this person. It's just them the little screen.
Yes.
The other thing that I'm finding really challenging is the training.
Yes.
Is we've hired new assistants, and I feel like they're just not getting the training that I got, and they're not getting the attention and the career pathing or whatever. And I feel like that's lacking, and it's something that we have to figure out quickly. But I find that hybrid seems to be what everybody kind of wants.
Yes.
Be it the 21-year-olds that consume my life,
Yes.
or and every walk of career.
I agree.
Hybrid is, if the pandemic taught us anything, it's to live every day.
Yeah.
And a hybrid solution makes you really appreciate both sides of your life.
Absolutely.
Work-life balance easier.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. I think the challenge I have with hybrid is if you don't do it thoughtfully, as you said, coming to the office and having a full slate of meetings.
Full slate.
If you're coming to the office and you're sitting on 6 different Zoom calls next to each other, that's not a good use of hybrid.
Exactly.
You know?
We've been like getting a conference room.
Yeah.
There's a good number on my team that go in on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
And we try to like just sit and have huddles.
Yes.
And then if there are people that aren't in, some moved away, great. So we have them up on the screen.
Right.
Hi,
Right.
you know, from the conference room.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. It's the word that we're using this year is purposeful.
Yes, I like that.
Make the days purposeful.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is for management, especially for new recruits and especially for junior new recruits, I do think that there is in-person time that is important. So whether that's even everybody travels for a week of in-person meetings or whatever that might be, but like you're right, the hands-on is so key to learning.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you asked me before about challenges, this from a work standpoint is a big challenge for
Absolutely.
2023.
Yeah.
We got to get these kids trained. I want the same opportunities for them that we all have.
For sure. So. Yeah, and you don't want them to be 10 years into their career and be embarrassed to admit that they don't know how to do something that they should have learned at the beginning, but they didn't because they were in this environment.
And we're already seeing that a little bit.
Totally.
3 years in.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I can imagine. Yeah. What an interesting conversation. I'm so glad we got to talk about life, work, 2023, all of the things. So thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.